Welcome to the Jay and Joe Show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 13 of the Jay and Joe Show. I am one of your hosts, Jay Lewis, and joining me today is Pedro, the Latin lover Mirabal. How are you doing, my good man?
I love the nickname, man. Hopefully that changes every week, but this week is especially authentic, I would think. How are you?
Yeah, man, you're out there. I'm doing great, man. You're out there doing all the sex, man. Like,
trying
Latin
to,
lover,
at least.
bro.
You know.
Yeah, bro. Out here pimping.
Somebody's
we got
gotta
a really
come out
good
here and represent for the video game nerds.
All right, no kidding, bro. We got a really great episode later on in the show. The topic of the week, we're going to be talking about PubG and all this success that it's having. But we're going to start the show the way we always start the show, with part of the conversation, our video game news segment. And Pedro, I'm going to hand it off to you. What was your favorite topic of the week, sir? Or I should say news article of the week.
Well, the favorite piece of news of the week extends from last week's show where we were talking about the Xbox One X finally getting a pre-order. They announced that they were going to do a pre-order for a special edition Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition that didn't cost the fans any more than the $499 a regular Xbox One X costs. It actually went on sale before the original or the actual Xbox One X. And this is an edition specifically for those Xbox Scorpio super fans that like the name. It has Scorpio branding on the controller, Scorpio branding on the actual Xbox itself. Very elegantly done, if I say so myself. Although the Project Scorpio on the controller, I think, could have been either we could have done without that, or not put in the middle of the right thumbstick and the D-pad, and spelt up and down like that. That looks kind of weird, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, getting a bit long on the tooth. The reason why this is my favorite news story is because it is the fastest selling Xbox ever. Pre-orders have sold out. They thought that they were going to have a week's worth of pre-orders ready to go for this special edition. They were gone within a matter of days. It's sold out in many countries around the world as well. I was not lucky enough to be able to get one. I could have gotten my hands on one via Amazon or BestBuy.com. But I didn't feel like forking out the $499 right then and there. I wanted to do the what we do here in America. For anybody who's listening outside the country, is we put down $50 at a regular brick and mortar shop like a GameStop, a Walmart, a Best Buy, and then we could pay it off before or on the release date of the console. And I just never. And by the time I got a chance to make it into a store, they were already gone.
Damn, bro, that's kind of wild. Because I had some concerns as to who this console was targeted at, what was the audience like. Were people willing to spend this kind of money just for an incremental upgrade, to the Xbox One S? And it turns out that it seems like they do want to do just that, bro. I guess the 4K resolution hype train is officially here. I know me and you have been in talks of both upgrading our television. I just got a PlayStation Pro, so 4K is here, dude. And this is kind of wild, bro. That it's selling, or its pre-orders are as high as they are. I didn't see this coming, but I feel like you definitely thought people were gonna get on the bandwagon. And so, what are your thoughts, man? Like the fact that this is selling so well.
I'm super excited about it. It means that there is some sort of excitement from one type of consumer, whether it be maybe it's the Xbox 360 owner that wanted to upgrade but didn't really see a purpose of upgrading to the Xbox One S. Or maybe it's the PS4 owner that, maybe just bought a PS4 Slim or a PS4 Pro last year alongside their 4K TV, and then kind of took the opportunity to upgrade or to get into the Xbox ecosystem with an Xbox One X and took advantage and grabbed the Scorpio edition. I don't think that that we're seeing the core Xbox One customer going after these pre-orders. I don't think it's the guys like me. I don't think the majority of the pre-orders are going to be the guys like me that bought the Xbox One on day one and are super excited to move into the 4K landscape with a new 4K console with an Xbox One X. I think these are guys like you who went Sony in the beginning and now want to foray into the Xbox ecosystem, or decided to sit out both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One until the ecosystems matured and decided to go with Xbox because they have an Xbox 360 and they're still comfortable with that entire Xbox Live ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. And so this thing launches on November 7th, and, I've been asking myself the question of, has Microsoft given me a reason to want this thing? And last week I told you that at the moment it wasn't something that enticed me, the Xbox One X. But with that being said, I started kind of thinking, and then, we should start seeing at E3 next year, what the new Halo is going to be, and what those big heavy hitting games are going to be. And you have to assume that by E3 next year, Microsoft's going to have some new IP to announce. And I think that when I think of myself purchasing the console, I think I am kind of sold on it for the future prospects. So what I'm trying to say is that getting it November 7th, bro, I know that not too much longer, give it 6 months or so, the games are gonna start hitting. I think that as soon as E3 next year, you'll have that reason to make the upgrade. And then again, bro, the biggest selling point for me is that 4K Blu-ray player. And I think that, I could easily go out and get the Xbox One S, which has the 4K Blu-ray player in it. But then it's if I'm going to go get that, why not just spend a couple $100 extra and future-proof, you know what I mean? Get it and just know that eventually the games will be on the console. You just have to give Microsoft some time to get them out. So I think I am actually won over. I'm not going to go out there and pre-order per se, but I am definitely someone who I would say in this calendar year I do plan on purchasing an Xbox One X. So, I'm hyped to see Microsoft back in top form, and I'm happy to give them my dollar. So this is great news, man, for Microsoft as a whole. And I'm so hyped for this news article, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm super happy. I think that this is, the beginning of good things for Microsoft. So hopefully it continues, and it just wasn't this big spike for just that special edition, but that they have the good problem of having to fulfill so much demand for the Xbox One X.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you set out to go pre-order it, what was it exactly that has won you over? What about the console has won you over?
The fact that everything's going to be in 4K, the resolution upgrades for the games that I already own, as well as the smoothness and the quickness that the UI. Combined with the UI changes that they're already making, but the hardware is also going to be optimized for the hardware, so I'm going to be able to zip through, the menus much faster as well, and the fact that if I'm going to invest money in a 4K television, I might as well have something that's going to give me the most premium 4K experience I can get. So an Xbox One X just makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, dude. 100%. And then this November, me and you can get on that PubG that everyone's freaking raving about, bro. But we'll talk more about that later. My top news this week, bro, was that new game that was announced at Gamescom last week, Biomutant. So, what Biomutant is it's a single player. Kind of like they're calling it like a post-apocalyptic like exploration type of game. It's being built on the Unreal Engine 4. It's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2018. It's being published by THQ Nordic, and it's being developed by a Swedish developer known as Experiment 101. Have you ever heard of that development studio?
I have not. It's a studio that's founded by former Avalanche Studios creative director Stefan. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his last name. But Avalanche Studio is the developer for Just Cause. So this guy came and created his own team and came up with this beautiful looking game.
Yeah. What is it? You just said the name of the game. What was it?
Just Cause?
Just Cause. That's a game that it definitely was on my radar. I guess it struggled from some loading issues and things of that nature. I guess like every time you died, it'd take like 45 seconds to load back in the game. But one thing about the game is it's just a super fun game just to kind of get around and just mess around, and have good fun. And that's what has me so hyped about Biomutant. This looks like a game where you kind of get in and you just get lost in the open world. IGN just had a 15-minute gameplay demo, and that's kind of what won me over watching this demo, man. Like, I've been dying. I feel like every week I talk about Conquer, the old game made by Rare Replay, or not Rare Replay, just Rare. And I've been dying for a new Conquer game, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. But this really reminds me of Conquer. So your character's like this. It's kind of looks like a squirrel. A lot of people are saying Rocket Raccoon. That's kind of what your character looks like. And the customization, bro, it's got very deep customization. So depending on how you choose to make your character look, whether it be tall and skinny or kind of short and, more chubby, like that actually kind of changes the way your character's movement speeds are and like how much damage that they can take in the game. So I thought that was really cool. You can change like the actual like color of your character. Like in the IGN video, they made the raccoon or whatever the hell the character is. They made him like this really fluorescent orange look, pink look with like purple stripes. And it kind of has like a little bit of a steampunk look to it. And dude, it just looks really fun. The world is gorgeous, man. Like that Unreal 4 engine, really lending itself to this game to help create this lush open world. The little mutants that you see, like they look like something you would see like almost out of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Think of like Bebop and Rocksteady. They kind of have that look to them, but like even more cartoonish looking. And then just the color palette, bro. Everything is so bright and gorgeous, man. I'm just curious, is this something that sounds enticing to you? Is this a game that you would like to play?
I'm looking at the trailer. Everything looks really, really fluid. It looks... It doesn't look super open like Just Cause. Maybe a little bit more linear. But it looks pretty cool, man. I mean, the customizations, like you said, is super dope. You're able to genetically modify your character with different claws, barbed tails, wings, and you can also earn these psi mutations like telekinesis and levitation, or add robotic limbs as well, which I thought was super cool. Also, like the weapons that you can carry, like the different swords or custom firearms. I'd love to see what a custom firearm look like on this guy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you could shoot make a pistol that's like a grenade launcher or something weird like that. Like I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah. It has like a really strong RPG type of mechanic. It says the story is mission based and mission lines are character based. Certain characters will provide the player quest lines that are, what is it? And wait, this is like a typo. But basically what it's just trying to say is that, like, basically in the open world, you meet these interesting characters and they give you unique, storylines. So, some characters will offer up missions that the goal is kind of just exploration and seeing the world, whereas other characters will give you missions where it'll change, like, gameplay mechanics. So, like, you'll unlock new abilities for your character, and then some missions will send you out and, like, basically reward you with loot at the end of them. So kind of like your Destiny, those types of games. So I really like that hook. Does that sound something like you'd be into?
I didn't see they say open world, but I didn't see the open world. Like the trailer to me didn't really show that it was like vast and open like you would from a Just Cause trailer. So I'd like to see. Well, and again, I've only seen the trailer. I haven't seen the 15-minute gameplay preview that you have. So maybe they show it better in the 15 minutes than the 2-minute one that I've seen.
Yeah, on the Wikipedia page it says Biomutant is an action role-playing game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. So it's definitely open world. Like you're saying, I don't know if it's as open as, say, like a Just Cause game. This game is very narrative-focused, so yeah, it might be a little bit more linear than something like a Just Cause game, which is still cool, man, because sometimes, just getting dropped into an open world and, like, you can kind of feel overwhelmed, but it sounds like this game's going to kind of, steer you certain directions and give you, like, purpose, which to me that's, like, a really good thing. Because, again, sometimes you just get dropped in and you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah, so it's more of it looks like it's more of an organized open world game.
Yeah. I was telling you about how you can customize your character. You can customize the gender, the length, the thickness, fur, fangs, and many other attributes. And again, it impacts the statistics of the players. This is such a breath of fresh air, that a game like this, that again, we were just talking about how it seems like every game, like, focuses so heavily on multiplayer. Like, here we go, we have a game that is single player, open world for you to kind of just get lost in. And again, it is so easy on the eyes. Like, this game's gorgeous, and the unique abilities, bro. Like, in the trailer on IGN, like, it showed the character crawl into, like, this. Think of It from what's that movie? Family, God. Oh, The Addams Family. So It, that hand that just kind of runs around on the ground. So essentially, you're riding that, and that's like a vehicle. So you can just, like, ride in this hand that's just scurrying around the ground. And God, it just seems so unique, and it seems like it's going to be so much fun, man. And it definitely has your boy hyped. These are my types of games, man. It has that Ratchet and Clank look to it, so very, very hyped for that. Again, it comes out 2018. Is this a game you're going to purchase, bro, do you think? Or you still got to learn more? Or
I'm going to see what the reviews look like and go from there. But, I mean, it looks good. Yeah,
I think so too. And a lot of people on the internet were kind of wondering, like, was this going to be like more of a mid-tier game? I don't think it's going to, bro. Based on what I saw on that IGN video, it seems like it has all the bells and whistles of a AAA game, and I would expect that this is going to be a $60 retail game. Does it give you that vibe as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of safe to say. But that's it for our news segment, which brings us to topic of the week. Pedro, can you hit me with that sweet, sweet bumper music, good sir? Thank you, my good man. This week, bro, we kind of been talking a lot lately about this freaking PubG game, and that's an acronym for Player Unknown Battleground. So, bro, this game is selling incredibly freaking well. Last week at Gamescom, Bluehole was they announced that their game has eclipsed 8 million units of sales. PUBG has hit a new peak player record with 718,978 players, making it trail behind Dota 2 active users by only 70,000 players. And that was of August 22nd. So I was able to get like an update, and the update was from 15 hours ago. Now it's at 810,000 active users, and that's being reported by TweetTown. It is dwarfing Counter-Strike Go's concurrent active users by, Counter-Strike has 537,000 players, so this has 810,000 concurrent users. And by September, PUBG is expected to exceed over 1 million concurrent users. And it's worth noting that PUBG is a PC and Xbox exclusive at the moment, so it's hitting those numbers without even being on the PlayStation ecosystem. What's your thoughts, bro?
The game is super streamer friendly. So, like, if you're a person that wants to, either get into stream games or is streaming games and is looking for a game that will keep the viewer, interested and kind of watching whether or not you'll survive, PUBG is the way to go. And I think that's the main reason why this game is doing so well, is because you can watch it and you actually have fun watching other people play the game, which in turn will have you saying, damn, I can't wait till this comes out on the Xbox so I could try it out myself, because this game just looks so fun and interesting, and the different ways that people attack the map, and the way that you can team up with people, but still go by yourself and try to win the game for the team. And we saw a Let's Play on PUBG the other day that was very entertaining, and I don't think it was more the game and the people that were playing it than it was just a combination
the game
of
itself.
Than the game itself, and I think that lends well to people who consume that type of content and want to create it. You said that this is coming to Xbox, so it's not even on Xbox yet. Are these numbers just Steam sales only? Those are only Steam sales, bro. It's not coming to Xbox, and truthfully, I don't think it's going to come to Xbox until 2018. They say it's coming late 2017 which is kind of like the Steam early, like the early the green light the green light feature that Steam has, but for the Xbox, early access is what it's called. So the game, the game's not even final yet on Steam. I don't think. I think the game is still on early access. I'm pretty sure people are just playing a beta, and the game is going to come out early access for the Xbox One, and people are having tons of fun with it, and the game's not even done yet. It's still being worked on, bro. So I mean, the game has a super bright future ahead of it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's already, like I said, it's already going up against Dota 2 for having the same amount of concurrent users, and bro, like, it's incredible. This game just seems to be catching so much steam, bro. And sorry for telling people that this was on the Xbox already. I thought it was, but with that being said, Pedro, we already know that it is coming to the Xbox, because now Microsoft is like, they're publisher of the game now. So They're trying really hard to get it over to the Xbox as soon as they can, which brings me to my next question, bro. And this is what's kind of has the internet on fire right now. This is what everybody kind of wants to know. When they were talking about the game last week at Gamescom, they were asking the community leader if this was going to be coming over to the PlayStation 4, and she really dodged the question, and they're like, she basically said this is not something that Bluehole can announce. You'll have to talk to the publisher, blah blah blah, and it's just the message is so muddied right now. What are your thoughts? Is this coming to the PlayStation 4? If it does, when do you think we'll see it?
I mean, this is the same question that people were asking when No Man's Sky was releasing. Oh, is it coming to the Xbox? What can we say? And they were kind of vague about it. Microsoft would come out and say, yeah, we would love to have No Man's Sky on the Xbox. And it just didn't happen. I don't think that this is that it's going to come on the PlayStation, unfortunately. I think that Microsoft came and said, all right, we'll help you publish this. And then we're going to leave that as one of our exclusive games. I also think that this is a fairly new arrangement that they announced, but the ink hadn't dried yet, which is why I think that you're seeing some of the people being very vague around whether or not the game will be coming out for PlayStation or not. Because I'm telling you, it looks like this game, they say it's coming out late 2017 to the Xbox. I don't see it coming out late 2017 to Xbox, man. I think this game will come out early 2018. By early 2018, I'm thinking maybe mid-January, late January, I would think.
Do you think that they could get it out as a possible launch title for the Xbox One X?
I think that's what they're trying to do.
That would be so smart, bro, because that's a system seller. I mean, this thing is selling like hotcakes over on Steam. There's a lot of people that would love to get it on console because they don't like using, the keyboard and mouse. Me and you being two of those individuals. This is something that would make me go pre-order the Xbox One X right now. Like, if they were able, because you figure it would probably be a pretty easy port to get it over to the Xbox One X, since it is so powerful. It can handle, the game. Maybe on the Xbox One S, they would have to tweak it and figure out how to get it over on that console. So yeah, maybe what you do then is you try to get it on the One X, and then maybe Q1 of next year you patch it and you port it over to the S, and that gives people incentive to go out and buy the X this holiday season, bro.
They keep saying late 2017, man, and I think that'll be a December release, which, I mean, is still within the release window of the Xbox One X. I mean, this could be something to where, they announce, if it indeed does come out on Game Preview in 2017, the console comes out November 11th, I think, and then you would have Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I would say in order for this to hit that sweet spot of hype, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would think, okay, so the Xbox comes out, right? Then people review it. Let's say it reviews well as a very good console, the one that performs well, and people are like, all right, no, that's cool. It's a good performing console. That's good to know. And then you have the holiday season. You've got the biggest shopping day of the year. And then you've got Christmas, which you'll have the two Christmas. I think you could, if they're going to announce it, they need to announce it around Thanksgiving week to maybe a couple days after Black Friday. That the PubG will officially be releasing on a certain date in order for someone like you to go out and get an Xbox One X.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, you know, we talked about a lot last week about how, you know, this is Microsoft's most important exclusive that nobody is talking about. Well, they're definitely talking about it now. And, whenever anyone talks about Xbox right now, all they want to say is how, you know, Xbox doesn't have that must-have killer app to go out and buy an Xbox. Well, this is it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the game that's going to motivate somebody that was, you know, possibly thinking about purchasing an Xbox. This is that reason. Definitely is that reason, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be that. It's gonna have to be that reason because everybody wants to be in on the PubG. They want to be on that hype train. They want to experience it. While I think it's fun, I still don't understand why it's a system seller because the game, again, is so young and it's grown so fast that at some point you got to think, when is this going to fizzle out? When is it going to even out? But it's just continuing to grow, and Microsoft is jumping in, on that upward trend. I'm on a wait and see to see whether or not this will continue. This is just like that fad game that lasts a couple months, or if this is truly that one game that'll. Because to me, a system seller can't just be something that's super hot for like the first, I don't know, quarter of a new console life cycle, and then after that, there's no other exclusives or no other games that give you a reason to come play.
In 2017, bro, like any game that has, close to 1 million concurrent users, even if there is like a major falling off of the game and it's hot and then it's not, even if you keep, 30% of the active users, bro, that's still 300,000 concurrent users, bro. So, I mean, that's even without it being on Xbox. That's just Steam alone. So, yeah. I mean, this is a game that could technically, even if it fell off, it'd still be fine. You know what I mean? Like, because even with half of the user base, bro, you're still hitting the same numbers as Counter-Strike Go. So, I mean, and then the way they're supporting the game, bro, it's getting constant updates. And, you have to assume that in the future they'll have more modes to play. Like, maybe we'll get some, like, cooperative modes. Maybe we'll get, some capture the flag style or deathmatch type of arena, battles. Like, the sky's kind of the limit with this game if you think about it, man. Because for what it is, this is a very straightforward game. They're hitting these numbers with like the most basic gameplay hook there is. I mean, you drop 100 people into, this pit, they all battle it out. One player wins. Like every man for himself type of game. And if you just build on top of that, bro, and you make it more, if you develop it further, make more modes, it's only gonna freaking catch on more. And you just keep patching it, do some graphical tweaks, like. This game has no ceiling is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't. I'd like to see how it performs on the Xbox before any of that. Before it, I say that the game has no ceiling per se. There's a reason why Microsoft decided to step in and publish and help them publish the game on the Xbox. And there's also a reason why they're still being very vague about the holiday release. They continue to say late 2017. And I don't know if it's because they're trying to put the 4K, they're trying to really push that 4K resolution, or, maybe they're having some compatibility issues putting it on the Xbox. It's just, it's I don't know, there's something there. That's not working as intended.
Yeah, and maybe it could be an issue too, to where they're looking at the holiday season and they're like, oh, we got the Call of Duty game coming out that people are actually hyped for. It going back to the the boots on the ground gameplay and it being in the World War II setting. A lot of people are going to buy that game, so that's going to steal a lot of their active users if they were to launch alongside of that. And then you got the new Assassin's Creed game, and what else is coming out this holiday season? That's another shooter, bro. That one with the Nazis, bro. What am I thinking
Wolfenstein.
of? Wolfenstein. So there is a ton of shooters coming out this holiday season, like there always is. So maybe they're looking at it and they're saying, like, should we steer clear of these games and, like, maybe just do, what we did with Crackdown? Let's delay it and bring it out, first quarter next year. Let's stay away from these third-party shooters. You think maybe that has something to do with it?
Maybe. Although, I mean, that wouldn't make sense, but...
I feel like this game could exist alongside those games and do just fine, personally.
I feel like it would engulf those games. Like, I feel like if that game is out with all the rest of those games, people are just going to choose PubG. Like, I don't... You know what I mean? I think that game beats Destiny. I think the game beats Call of Duty. I think it beats a Wolfenstein. Truthfully, I think it beats any other AAA title out right now because of the hype. If they were to release it, while everything else is out, while everything else comes out. Like, if they all of a sudden say, this is releasing day and date with the Xbox One X. Everyone all of a sudden is like, oh shit, I've got Shadow of War pre-ordered, I've got the new Assassin's Creed pre-ordered, that new Call of Duty I was going to pre-order, but now I'm doing PUBG, or, I can only afford one big title this holiday season. Sorry, Shadow of War, I'm going to wait till after... till after Thanksgiving when it goes down to $39.99, and I'm just gonna go get PUBG on day one. Like, it's I think it engulfs everything if it comes out at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that I was kind of telling you about earlier, and this is an extremely kind of take it with a grain of salt type of rumor, but a lot of people are talking about other games already starting to borrow this formula and create their own version of this game. So Ghost Recon Wildlands is rumored to have a multiplayer new mode in the works that kind of borrows the same idea of let's drop X amount of players into this world and let them battle it out. So do you think that that's true, A? And then B, my second question would be, do you feel like other games are going to look at this game and say, hey, let's do the same thing, just our version of that? Can you see like a game like, say, Destiny 2 have their own kind of game mode like this in the future? Do you think games are going to borrow from is what I'm trying to say?
Imitation is a serious form of flattery, man, and I think, yes, they're gonna try to imitate that. They're gonna try to recreate that formula, man. But I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna have that same charm that PUBG has. We'll see. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a pretty cool game that does have a pretty nice little base. Is the person that plays Ghost Recon Wildlands interested in something like that? You don't know.
Yeah, because one thing I'll say about PUBG is it's not the prettiest game, you know what I mean? And, like, there's really no attachment to the characters. When I watch all these streams anyway, that's on the outside looking in. I don't know if playing it is a completely different animal to where you actually do start to feel attached to your character. But, like, when I think of this game, I'm like, man, can you imagine being able to go inside the world of Destiny? You have this guardian who, you've kind of grown to love in a weird way. Like my Titan, bro, I love my Titan. And to think of playing like a PUBG-style game with my Titan, dude, that sounds super enticing, man.
Yeah, it totally does. I'd love to see Destiny try that, actually, so,
Yeah, would be fun. So, yeah, great topic of the week, man. I'm very hyped for PUBG. If it comes out, at the end of the year on Xbox, I'm all over it. I'm sure you will be too. Like you said, this is a fun game to stream. It's a really fun game to sit there and watch. You know, me and Pedro were both kind of funny best friends, and they did a really good, what's that mode that they call? Party mode over on their YouTube channel. And I was totally immersed just watching them play. So I can't imagine if me and you were to put something together similar like that. I'm sure we'd have a blast. And me and you being the filthy casuals that we are at shooters and not really having the twitchy controls locked down like some of these other guys, like I could totally see me and you just camping inside a shed, just waiting, watching
for somebody to come out.
That like we would totally just camp, bro. And I'm sure somebody like Alfredo Diaz or some of these really super good, online shooter players, they just come in and totally wipe us out. But I'd still be down for that, you know what I mean? Like, that would be so much fun. So look for that later this year on Xbox, guys. It's already out on Steam. And, dude, I just don't feel like there's anything stopping this game, at least nothing soon. We have Destiny coming out next month, so who knows if maybe that'll get some of those players off of the servers. I guess time will tell. But great topic of the week. And with that being said, bro, it brings us to our final segment, which we call Bonus Level. What is Bonus Level? It's basically just a bite-sized segment where me and Pedro, we just talk about what is exciting us this week. Doesn't have to be video game related. It could be tech, sports, MMA, anything. So Pedro, what has you excited this week, my good man?
The season 7 finale of Game of Thrones. Last week's episode was great, to say the least. I think that this week's episode is going to be full of suspense. It's going to be the longest episode to date, at around 80 minutes. So I'm super excited. It has already been leaked online because we live in a world where no one can wait for release dates. So again, I ask you, my friends, please, if you've already seen it, just wait till the show's over. Make a thread online. Spoil it amongst yourselves there. Don't make that one dumb mistake where you make that status on Facebook and say, "Oh my God, so and so died. This is crazy. I'm in tears." Don't do that. Don't be that person, please.
Yeah, and like some people are spoiling the show, like not knowing that they're spoiling it, but if you put a thumbnail of a major moment inside the episode, like that's one of the biggest spoilers that you can do. Like, you don't literally have to talk about the episode. Like, but I remember before last week's episode, and this is a mild spoiler, so if anyone's listening that doesn't want, any of Game of Thrones spoiled for them, just put it on mute for like 20 seconds. But bro, when Khaleesi is standing in front of the dragon or whatever, like somebody posted a thumbnail of that, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see the thumbnails. I don't want to see. I had the episode spoiled for me because somebody made a YouTube video where they kind of reviewed the episode, and right in the freaking tagline, like, it said what the plot was, and I'm like, oh, come on. So yes, people, let's stop spoiling stuff. And dude, I totally agree with you. That's what has me hyped this week as well. Also, what has me hyped is Stranger Things. The creators of Stranger Things have said that there will definitely be more than 2 seasons. Third season is already in the works, so to speak. But they did say that there shouldn't be any more than 4 seasons. And season 4 is kind of up in the air, but there could potentially be one. But they have said that they don't think that they would drag it on any further than season 4, because then by that time all the kids have kind of like grown up, and then the show doesn't make sense anymore, because then what they're forced with is like once a year, they have to take these kids in this town and put them through all these bad events that happens, and they can only justify that so many times before the kind of story writing kind of gets a little weird. And then you start doing that thing that The Walking Dead does, where you kill off like these characters, and you bring on new characters, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. It gets a little long in the tooth. So I'm definitely hyped to know that I will at least be getting another 2 seasons of my favorite show of all time. Everybody, if you've never watched Stranger Things, please do so, especially if like you're a millennial and you grew up in the 80s, even if it was the late 80s, because it has like the really coolest aesthetic to it, and it really transforms me, and it reminds me of my childhood, and I love the show so much. And Pedro, I've been on your ass to get to watching it, bro. You need to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because you keep saying it's your favorite show of all time, and I'm like, bro, you've seen a lot of great shows. Like a lot.
Yeah, we were just talking about Game of Thrones, and that's definitely probably my second favorite show of all time. But I give Stranger Things a slight edge because of the nostalgia for me. Like, again, like some of the things that happens inside the show, it's like based in so much realism. Like, I remember when I was growing up in like not even my teenage years, like my preteen years, where you know how you'd have that circle of friends, and like one week Billy would be your best friend, but then the next week maybe Jacob had a little slight edge on Billy because you guys went and watched a movie together or went and played some arcades together. So things that they do in the show, it's like, man, I did that growing up. And again, bro, it really plays on the nostalgia strings. And yeah, that's my second piece of hypeness. Last week, bro, you talked about the Floyd Mayweather fight, and so now we are post Mayweather fight, and pretty much to no surprise, he ends up winning. The only surprise is that they actually made a fight out of it. So why don't we talk about that before signing off? What did you think of the fight?
I mean, I thought it was more entertaining that it was going to be, than I thought it was going to be. So it's always good when you come in feeling like you're not like it's gonna be a boring fight, and it's more entertaining than you did. So it was a very pleasant surprise. I thought the undercard was kind of underwhelming. I thought those fights were gonna be a little bit better. But the fight itself, I think it served both fan bases well. People who are fans of the Money Team came out and were, screaming 50-0, and the people that were Conor McGregor fans saw their dude, show out in a boxing fight. He gassed at the end, which is, to be expected if you watch any Conor McGregor fight, especially that lasts longer than a round or two, especially against Nate Diaz. He does gas. So, it just happened against Mayweather, and Mayweather took advantage, and the overzealous referee who allowed rabbit punching, and by rabbit punching I mean punches to the head, punches to the back of the head, but didn't allow Conor to weather that storm and compose himself and continue on fighting. Very weird way to referee a fight, but it is what it is.
Yeah, a fight of this magnitude, you figure that he would have just kind of let this fight just like end the way it needed to. Like McGregor was clearly going to get knocked out, and I think that's what he should have let that happen, bro, because that would have been the thumbnail for everybody like making content about the fight, talking about the fight. That would have been the headline, a picture of McGregor on the mat. That's what needed to happen, bro. I'm so surprised. Even McGregor says, when he takes to the mic, he's like, if he would have gave me a little while, I might have been able, or I think he says I would have been able to compose myself. I would have came back out. I was good to go. I still had fight in me, man. And like you're saying, I'm really surprised the way it kind of ended. But Mayweather, he was gonna KO him regardless. Like, that fight was over. I really enjoyed it, like you're saying, man. I think McGregor surprised a lot of people, me included, man. I didn't know that he was going to have that much fight left in him, but just like I was kind of saying, if this fight goes longer than 5 rounds, that's when McGregor was going to start gassing, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. But, dude, those first 5 rounds, man, he really surprised me. there was a little things like you said, the shots to the back of the head shows the rookie in him. You know, he's not a boxer by any stretch of the imagination. He's definitely more of an MMA guy. But I dug the fight. They definitely put on a good show, and I feel like it was worth the price of admission. And like you were saying, it was surprising how bad that co-main event was. The only highlight for me there is the dude that was dressed like the Smurf, bro. Like, what was up with that outfit?
He's a flamboyant dude. He's trying very hard to be the next Mayweather. But, I mean, he didn't show the dedication that Mayweather showed because he missed weight for his fight. He's supposed to come in at 130. He came in at 132. And then he looked like garbage fighting there, too. He was very unprepared. It was a super unprofessional showing for a guy who's on Mayweather Promotions, who Mayweather himself said is going to take the mantle from him. If I were Mayweather, I'd be giving him a lecture on being professional and showing up to fight every time that you step into that ring, because what he showed on the biggest stage in front of hundreds of millions of people that purchased that pay-per-view and watched it it wasn't impressive at all. So, very disappointing from Gervonta Davis, to say the least.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about this fight is your thoughts on Mayweather saying this was his last fight of all time. Were you surprised for him to announce it in the ring? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think it was. I always thought he wanted to get to 50-0. Once he got to 50-0, there's really nothing else for him to do. Plus, the man made $300 million. I mean, he's got investments. He's got a brand new strip club that he opened called Girl Collection in Las Vegas. He's trying to make businesses that his kids can manage now, because he's got 3 kids that are college aged. So I could see him, focusing on Mayweather Promotions, focusing on his Mayweather Boxing Club gym, and opening up more gentleman establishments like the Girl Collection, maybe even across the country, not just in Las Vegas, but going to your Miamis, your LAs, your New Yorks, and opening there too.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I didn't realize he had these strip clubs open, but yeah, dude, if he opened one down in Miami, maybe Pedro the Latin lover Mirabal has to go there and sex all the women, bro.
It'd be my first foray into a strip club, bro. I've never been.
Oh man, we might have to set that up. But yeah, man, just want to thank everybody for taking some time out to join the Jay and Dro show. We love doing this. We love providing for the people. Please check us out over on Facebook. We got a cool group over there if you haven't already joined. We're going to start doing giveaways at the first week of every month. We do a podcast where we talk about all the big games of the month, and we're going to have a secret word inside the podcast. And if you head over to the Facebook group and you're the first one to put the secret word into the Facebook group, you will be winning whatever the giveaway is for that particular month. So look out for that. Square Gamers on Facebook. You got anything else before we close it out, Pedro?
No, we're good to go.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week for an all-new Jay and Dro show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.
Peace.